everybody. I'm Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 13. This is my last episode for Season 3 of the Holistic True Wealth series in collaboration with Mupo TV, part of Mupo Entertainment. I am the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness and a certified holistic coach, and I am of the belief we all should be living a life of abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. As a certified holistic coach, today I am taking a finance-first approach to achieving all-encompassing personal well-being by embracing new ways to true wealth in the modern world. Exposing diverse paths opens the doors to true wealth in every sense. And today we're facing a paradigm shift like none other that is revolutionizing our future in ways that are unprecedented. And to remain stagnant is to be left behind. My mission goes beyond business by providing global-minded entrepreneurs and individuals with new ways to true wealth in the modern world so they can circumvent broken systems and go from fatigue to freedom. And it's about creating opportunities, providing access, and building a more inclusive and supportive world where everyone has a chance to thrive. True wealth is not only just about money, it's about having the tools and the resources allowing you to create a lifestyle to live that abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Myself and my special guests are all about bringing awareness to alternative solutions from all aspects, leading you towards a path to overall true wealth. The mission: provide real solutions for real people who are serious about wanting to go from barely surviving to thriving again. So before I bring on my very special guest today, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You can find this interview series in collaboration with Mupo Entertainment at mupotv.com, or you can download our Android or iOS app. We're in 144 countries, seen on Fire TV, Roku, and Vimeo, and we're also in discussions with Paramount and HBO for possible collaborations. So with that, we'll be right back with my very special guest for today. Okay, we are back, and joining us from Toronto, Canada, just north of my hometown, Buffalo, New York, is Kim Speed. And Kim loves to help people transition from the world of employment to the freedom of entrepreneurship. And this includes everything from finding the idea, starting with side hustles, building a business, and taking it to the next level to success, just to list a few. She is a brand visibility expert at Brand Visibility Expert, author and coach, and the owner and creative director at Purple Mood Creative, a branding and marketing boutique. Welcome to the show today, Kim. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. This is awesome. I'm so glad to be here.
Super. So, do you have snow up in Toronto yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. We don't in Florida. So hopefully never. So
yes.
Before we jump into the questions, share with the audience a little bit about who Kim Speed is outside of your business.
So outside of my business, I'm a proud mother, wife, and daughter. So family to me is the ultimate and the most important thing, and it's what has driven the reasons for my business. And I love to explore and travel.
Awesome. Yeah, travel is number one on my list for sure. So let's start with the spark behind the brand. Take us back a bit. What inspired you to really start Purple Moon Creative? And how did you discover your passion for helping businesses stand out with unforgettable brands?
Well, my journey as an entrepreneur began accidentally. Um, in well, about 16 years ago, I was working in the world of advertising. I had a corporate position. I was a creative director. I was working on brands like Coca-Cola, Toyota, Ford, Molson Coors, TD Bank, some great projects. I loved it. We had a great team. And then the recession of 2008, 2009 hit. And unfortunately, the company that I was at, one of our biggest clients struggled and we ended up losing them. So the agency I was at, they had to let go of a large part of their staff. I happened to be
Right.
one of those. That was not really the issue, though. People move positions all the time, so that wasn't. It was upsetting, of course, but not like the end of the world. And, I went home and I started to connect with people as you do. You network, you find out
Right.
what's going on, what's out there, having conversations. But a really funny thing happened during that time, Jeff. I had two small or young children at the time. And all of a sudden, there was this new calm in my life. This calm that had never happened or hadn't happened in a very long time. I was no longer rushing in the morning, yelling and screaming, let's go, have you got this? Have you got that? And we have to go now. I always felt like I was yelling and screaming. And then I'd come home and I'd be like trying to leave work and I'd be, rushing out the door and feeling like I wasn't going to make it on time. I have to pick people up. I have to get
Right.
people dinner. I have to get them to activities. We have to do homework. We have to have bath. And it seemed like there wasn't really any fun time.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I saw life with calmness, with fun. It was pleasant. We weren't yelling and screaming anymore. And I had a light bulb moment of this is really what life should be like. This is why
Exactly.
I have a family. It's not to send them off to somebody else. I was actually letting somebody else take care of them during the day and getting the best part of their day. And I was missing all of that.
Right.
So it was epiphany to me to realize that. And that's when I said, I no longer want to go back to a corporate job. My
Enough is
family
enough.
is important to me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the Western world, it's all about work and no work-life balance, and that has been a huge, huge problem for many families. And it
Yes.
it's a result of divorce. A high
Yeah.
rate of divorce because either the mother or the father are constantly working. They're never at home. They got to go in on the weekends, and they are at the beck and call of the company that they are working for.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been there. I've been there. Got burnt out in 2015. So, but
And you think that's the norm, right,
exactly,
Jeff? Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And growing up, go to school, get an education, get good grades, go find a nice, safe, secure job. Well, that model doesn't work anymore.
No,
You
no,
know.
not at
So
all.
yeah, absolutely. So what makes a brand exceptional? You've worked with so many companies over the years. In your view, what really separates a good brand from an exceptional one that people instantly connect with?
So I've worked with a lot of people that I would consider they do have a good brand, but to make them better, they really need to have that deep customer understanding. They need to be able to demonstrate that they understand the audience's desires, frustrations, motivations, what makes them tick. And if you understand that, then they feel seen. But what creates that connection with them is actually an emotional connection.
Sure.
It's an emotional connection that evokes powerful feelings such as belonging, aspiration, or comfort. And when you make those brand connections or emotional connections to your audience, that's what makes your brand exceptional.
Yeah, and it's about relatability, sharing stories, and having um, that reader like resonate. Oh my gosh, that's me. I've experienced that. That's happening to me now, or it has happened to me.
Yeah.
And
Well,
sharing those stories. Go ahead.
and interestingly enough, a lot of people think that, people buy out of, research and, finding out every little detail about something. But there's actually a decision that's made before that. Before they'll even do the research on a company or a brand, there's an emotional connection to that. And people buy on emotion. They don't
Emotion.
buy on
Right.
facts.
Yeah. No, that's very, very true. I've heard that many times, and many of the people that we are already associated with, same share that same sentiment. So, and power of knowing your people. We're going to lead right into the next question here. When it comes to branding and understanding your audience, seems to be everything. How do you help your clients get really that crystal clear, that laser focus on who they are really speaking to, and why does that clarity matter so much?
Well, interesting. Most of my clients are from a corporate background where their role was defined for them.
Yeah.
And most of them were not marketing specialists. Somebody else did that job. But when they step into entrepreneurship, they become the brand. And they, a lot of people don't understand that if they are trying to reach out to everyone, they end up connecting with no one. So, what I help my clients with is to really get clear on who they're speaking with by looking at a few things. The first one is, think about this: who are you really excited to help? Because if you don't have that energy, then things fall flat. The energy
Right.
is important.
Right.
And then who actually needs what you offer, and who is willing to invest in it. Then the third thing is we dig deep into the specifics, their struggles, their desires, how they think, and how they make decisions. And once you know all those things well, that's when you can create a message that becomes magnetic and
Right.
attracts those people.
Absolutely. That's you've got it on the tip of the nail there. Boom, boom. And it's relatability, so important today because there's so much noise out there. And I've seen so much where it's all about just pitching and selling, pitching and selling, pitching and selling, but
Yeah.
not really getting to um, the vulnerable situations where people are struggling, and they're looking for that glimmer of hope, wanting to get out of what they're doing and getting to that next level. So we're in the middle here. We're going to take a quick short commercial break, and we'll be right back. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm taking a finance first approach to encompassing overall well-being because finances are the number one stressor out there in the world. And this next commercial is really highlighting a project that I'm have embraced over the last 4 to 5 months. And it's about owning your own cryptocurrency, and we'll be right back and continue our conversation with Kim.
Texacoin is the future of money in Texas. Texacoin is a fast, layer 1 digital currency designed for generations of honest trade. In many ways, Texacoin is like Bitcoin. It uses blockchain technology, the decentralized public ledger, to record transactions. Texacoin makes it easy for anyone to participate in the digital economy. Like Bitcoin, Texacoin can be traded for other cryptocurrencies or cash. But unlike Bitcoin and other leading cryptos, Texacoin can only be digitally mined in Texas. Join us as we build the world's largest decentralized cryptocurrency mine. Put control of crypto back in the hands of individuals and away from mega corporations, banks, and foreign nations. With Texacoin, we can leave the world a better place for our children and future generations.
Let me just add two little key points here on that commercial. Number one, yes, it's mined in Texas, but it is available for everybody that is out there who is interested in exploring being an owner of a cryptocurrency mining software. Secondly, this is a daily cash flow producing asset, and it's going to mine for 133 years. So we're back with Kim Speed from Toronto, Canada, and I want to talk about storytelling meets design. And you've got this beautiful balance at Purple Moon Creative, combining strategy, storytelling, and design. How do you bring those elements together so a brand doesn't just look good but feels authentic and memorable?
Well, thank you. That balance is intentional, Jeff. Um, and in my company, Purple Moon Creative, we don't start with logos and colors. We start with clarity, because if you don't know who you are, what you stand for, and who you're speaking to, no design in the world will make you or your brand memorable. And that's where I bring in. I created a framework called the True Brand Framework, and it's how we bring together the strategy, the storytelling, and the design so that the final result feels authentic and aligned and unforgettable. And what that framework is it's an acronym. True is an acronym for, the first is truthful. We uncover who you really are, who you are at your core, and what you want to be known for. And second is to your relevance. We get crystal clear on who you serve and what they struggle with. This ensures your message speaks to the right people. And then the third thing is your uniqueness. We identify what sets you apart from everyone else in your space. And everybody has a uniqueness. And it's not by trying to be the loudest or the most trendy, it's about embracing who you really are. And then once we have all of that, we bring it into the fourth thing, which is expression. This is the part where most people want to start. And this is where we design the brand visually and verbally and help you create a consistent and engaging experience.
That's awesome. I love true relevance, uniqueness, and expression. I love that approach. So, those of you who are out there listening, wanting to start a business or revise your current business and take it to the next level, consider what Kim just spoke about. So, words of wisdom for entrepreneurs, for someone really listening who's either launching their first business or realizing it's time to rebrand, which is what I just said. What's your best advice for creating a strong standout brand that people will actually remember?
So, the best advice I can give you is start with clarity over visuals. As I just said, so many people, they rush to create a logo and a website, and um, but they don't know the most important part. That's who you are, who you serve, and what makes you different. You can start a business without a logo and without a website, and you
Right.
can start to become successful. Once you have that going and you figure out who you are and who you want to be, I always say, who do you want to be when you grow up as a business? Then you can start to really think about what you look like. And what you look like is important. I have to say it is an important part. It's just not the part you start with.
Right.
But then once you know who you are, then have that consistency. So whether you're launching something new or feeling like your current brand just isn't landing, go back to the foundation. Ask yourself: is this brand a true reflection of who I am? Does it speak to the people or the audience that you want to be speaking to? And does it express your value clearly? And that goes back to the whole framework of the true brand.
I love that. That is very, very top notch value that you just shared with our audience. And do you think it's important to have? I want to throw another question in here. Do you think it's important to have a website?
Oh, yes, you have to have something. It's like your home. You have to have a home base, but you don't have to start with a full fledged, pages and pages website. You could start with a landing page where you have a simple message and let people
Right.
know that you exist.
Awesome. Okay, so for those who are, wanting to connect with Kim, you can see in the scrolling banner down below, her website. Is there any other social media places that people can connect with you, Kim?
Yes, definitely. I'm on LinkedIn as Kim Speed, and I also have a Facebook group called the Employee to Entrepreneur Society, where we chat and support people. We have interviews every week as well. So I'd love to have you there.
Awesome. So before we wrap up today, if there was one nugget, one piece of advice that you could provide one or more of our viewers who are sick and tired of being sick and tired and really looking for that glimmer of hope, wanting to improve on any type of level, either personal or professional, what would that be?
Stop holding yourself back, questioning it, and just try some things. It doesn't have to be perfect right away. It doesn't have to be the final thing. But if you don't try, then you're never going to know whether you need to iterate or if this is the thing.
Absolutely. No, that's great advice. You got to step into that uncomfortable zone and test the waters, because it's all about testing and, going back and looking at what's working, what's not working. What's working is great, and what's not working, revise that and take it to the next level. And even with what's working, I have found that as the technologies evolve, you have to adapt accordingly with regards to technologies. So that's very important today. So with that, Kim, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show today, wrapping up season 3, episode 13. For those that are interested in learning a little bit more about what I'm doing with regards to a financial first approach, it's really, taking a look at new wealth growth strategies with today's cutting edge technologies. And what I do share with people is, think about decades ago when Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and Amazon introduced their technologies. And it was really revolutionary because it was brand new. And look at where they are today. They're industry giants. And those people who saw the potential vision back then jumped on board on the ground floor. And they have, really reaped the benefits from that. And that's where we are today with blockchain technologies. Blockchain has been here since 2008, 2009, and it has evolved. And we're just in the beginning stages of that. And it is a paradigm shift. And if you're looking for those unique opportunities to diversify, definitely give me a shout and come to one of my webinars, get educated. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, great. But at least you've got the information to make that decision if it's something that's good for you. And I'm going to share this one little nugget, because as an ex-software engineer of 27, 28 years, in 2009, I was approached with the opportunity to purchasing 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. That was an 85-cent investment. My response, nah, sounds like a scam. And we know where Bitcoin is today. So we're in front of a paradigm shift. And if you're open to taking a look and getting informed, then let's get talking, because the early birds always get the biggest worms. So, Kim, again, thank you so much for coming on board today, sharing your amazing wisdom, and we'll see you all on the next season of Holistic True Wealth. Take care.
Thought I was playing? Huh. You thought I was playing?